Virtual reality, the final frontier, an achievement that humanity has been dreaming about for many years. But now, with VR looming just within our grasp, will it truly bring the future we've envisioned for so long? Or will it turn our dream into a nightmare? As far back as 1933, and arguably even farther, the concept of virtual reality has been nested within the human psyche, finding its way into representation through a variety of forms, ranging from short stories to crudely implemented early technology, and finally, to other media formats. But it is only recently that technology has evolved to the point where both virtual and augmented reality have finally become both feasible and more affordable. And as prices continue to fall while the quality of simulated reality continues to increase, well, there's many great things that this progress can be applied to. There are recent studies that suggest VR may be useful not only for a variety of training simulations, including surgical and flight training, but also for the treatment of a variety of disorders, such as helping people to cope with and overcome anorexia and bulimia or irrational phobias, and even aiding the rehabilitation efforts of those with cerebral palsy. Even more, there are those, like music video director Chris Milk, who argue that virtual reality is the final medium, and can become the ultimate empathy machine due to how immensely immersive it is.
VR makes us feel like we are part of something. For most of human history, we lived in small family units. We started in caves, then moved to clans and tribes and villages and towns, and now we're all global citizens. But I believe that we are still hardwired to care the most about the things that are local to us. And VR makes anywhere and anyone feel local. That's why it works as an empathy machine.
This is a claim that Professor Ian Bogost would likely agree with, having himself talked at length about the use of video games to increase both empathy and political discourse. And this, all considering technology at its current, relatively infantile stage. Surely, as virtual reality begins to involve more of our sensory inputs rather than simply sight and sound, becoming even more realistic and immersive, it will usher in a golden age of humanity that allows us to soar ever higher, with no ill effects or repercussions. Right?
Ordinary human dating. It's enjoyable and it serves an important purpose. But when a human dates an artificial mate, there is no purpose, only enjoyment. And that leads to tragedy.
As we continue to push the boundaries of VR, blurring the lines between the real and simulated world, there's a very real danger that many people may begin to turn away from reality in favor of a more easily controlled, infinitely less stressful virtual one. This can already be seen with the controversial topic of video game addiction, perhaps the most commonly known example being those who have replaced most, if not all, of their real-world interactions with World of Warcraft. But another, lesser-known illustration of this lurking danger can be found by shifting our view towards Japan. Hikikomori is a syndrome of severe social withdrawal that currently affects upwards of 500,000 people between the ages of 15 and 39 in Japan alone. The Japanese government's official definition for hikikomori is one who has not left their home or interacted with others for a period of at least 6 months. Now, obviously there are many social, economic, and cultural factors that I'm unable to delve into simply for the sake of time, but this is not limited to Japan. In fact, there's research that suggests that hikikomori is actually an international problem that can be found in many other countries around the world as well. And it seems obvious to me how a technology that encompasses so many of our senses could easily exacerbate the situation, especially when combined with dating simulators or fully fleshed out worlds that people can escape to at will. Now, none of this is to say that VR is inherently bad, or will be the downfall of our civilization. Simply that, as we continue to blaze trails into this brave new world that lies ahead of us, we remain mindful of the potential pitfalls that await, and do not allow ourselves to lose our grasp on the real world entirely. That is, provided we aren't all living in a highly detailed simulation already.